Welcome to my review of the AIDA PTZ4K-NDI-X12, the best NDI PTZ camera I've had the pleasure of testing for mid-size conference rooms and small broadcast sets. If you're interested in learning more about this product, the link is in the description below, where you can check out the product details on Amazon. I've had the opportunity to put this camera through its paces for 2 weeks now, using it in a 12-seat Zoom room and a small streaming studio. I've got to say, the picture quality, ease of control, and NDI-X reliability have been rock solid. If you're in the market for a 4K PTZ camera that can seamlessly integrate with your NDI network without the need for a capture card, this one's definitely worth your time. Let me break down why I'm so impressed with this camera. First and foremost, the image quality is genuinely impressive. The 1.8-inch sensor and 12 times optical zoom give you a tight 73.6 degrees to 6.2 degrees field of view, which is perfect for framing a whole conference table or zooming in on a single presenter without needing to swap lenses. In my tests, the colorimetry matched what I see on my reference monitor, and the backlit CMOS handled backlit windows surprisingly well. I didn't have to dial in any LUTs or push the exposure too hard. It just looked natural straight out of the box. This is a huge plus, especially if you're not a seasoned videographer or don't have the time to fuss with complicated camera settings. Next, the NDI-X 4K workflow is incredibly seamless. I plugged the camera into a 1 gigabit per second network with a Ubiquiti switch and fired up OBS Studio, and the camera showed up as a source in less than 5 seconds. No drivers, no extra software needed, it just worked. I was also pleased to find that the latency measured around 120 milliseconds end-to-end, which is more than acceptable for live Q&A and webinars. I also had the chance to run it through vMix and Wirecast, and both programs recognized it immediately as an NDI device, allowing me to switch between camera angles without touching the hardware. This level of integration is a game-changer for anyone looking to streamline their workflow. Control is another big win with this camera. The camera ships with a free Windows PTZ controller that's actually intuitive and easy to use. You get joystick pan tilt, 255 presets, and RS-232, RS-485 support if you want to tie it into a Crestron or AMX panel. I set up 3 presets for the conference table, the lectern, and the whiteboard, and I can recall them with a single keystroke or MIDI button. The remote also has a built-in web server, so I could adjust focus, zoom, and color from my phone while the camera sat on a shelf 6 feet up. This level of flexibility is incredibly useful, especially if you're working in a fast-paced environment where you need to make adjustments on the fly. In terms of build quality, the AIDA PTZ4K-NDI-X12 feels premium for the price. The die-cast aluminum body is heavier than the plastic-bodied competition, so it doesn't wobble on a MIC stand. The 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch threads on the bottom let me mount it on a boom arm or a short tripod without needing any adapters. The only quirk is the power supply. That's a bulky desktop brick, so if you're mounting it on a wall arm, you'll want to plan the cable run accordingly. However, this is a minor complaint in an otherwise well-designed camera. Audio integration is also surprisingly simple. The camera has a 3.5mm stereo mini jack, so I ran a lav mic straight into it and used the NDI audio stream in OBS. Latency was negligible, and the preamp was clean enough for speech. If you need Dante or embedded SDI audio, you'll have to grab an AIDA NDI audio converter, but for most Zoom rooms and podcast setups, the onboard input is more than sufficient. One thing to watch out for is the zoom speed, which is a little slow compared to pricier broadcast cameras. It takes about 3 seconds to go from wide to tele, which is fine for preset moves, but noticeable if you're trying to follow a fast-moving speaker. Additionally, the included Windows controller is great, but Mac users are stuck with third-party apps like NDI Studio Monitor, which don't offer the same preset depth. However, These are relatively minor complaints in an otherwise excellent camera. On the whole, though, this camera hits a sweet spot. It's the only NDI PTZ I've tested that delivers true 4K color accuracy, reliable HX streaming, and solid build without breaking the bank. If you're outfitting a conference room, a small studio, or a hybrid classroom, it's a smart buy. In conclusion, I'm thoroughly impressed with the AIDA PTZ4K-NDI-X12, and I think it's a great choice for anyone looking for a reliable and high-quality NDI PTZ camera. If you're interested in grabbing one for yourself, the link is below, where you can check out the product details on Amazon.